We'll explore how Forspoken has fared since its launch, what players are saying about it now, and whether it's worth your attention as part of the PS Plus collection. Let's get started. Released in early 2023, Forspoken promised a magical, open-world adventure where players could harness a vast array of spells and traverse a visually stunning environment. It follows the story of Frey, a New Yorker who finds herself transported to the mysterious and dangerous world of Athia. At launch, the game received mixed reviews. Critics praised the magic-based combat and visuals, but pointed out issues with its dialogue, story pacing, and a lack of engaging open-world activities. While it didn't fully live up to the pre-release hype, it still garnered a dedicated fan base. Now that it's available on PS Plus, Forspoken is seeing renewed interest. But does it play differently now than it did a year ago? Adding Forspoken to PS Plus immediately changes how the game is perceived. At launch, it was marketed as a premium title with a high price tag, leading to high expectations. On PS Plus, it becomes a much more approachable option. For those who subscribe to PS Plus Extra or Premium, downloading Forspoken carries no extra cost beyond the subscription fee. This makes it an ideal time to experience the game's strengths without the pressure of justifying a full-price purchase. Forspoken's flashy combat system, which centers around using a variety of spells in fast-paced battles, becomes a standout feature worth experiencing, especially since you're not paying out of pocket for it. The first thing most players notice about Forspoken is the magic. The combat system is dynamic and spell-based, allowing you to mix and match elemental abilities to fit your playstyle. Whether you're flinging fireballs, summoning rock walls, or zipping across the battlefield with magical parkour, the gameplay feels fluid and rewarding during combat encounters. Exploration is another highlight. The world of Athia offers wide-open areas to traverse using Frey's magical movement abilities. Sprinting up cliffs or gliding across fields feels satisfying, even if the world itself sometimes lacks depth. From a visual standpoint, Forspoken still holds up in 2024. Its spell effects, character models, and environmental designs are striking, especially on PS5 with ray tracing enabled. If you enjoy visually impressive games, this one delivers in spades. One of the most interesting aspects of Forspoken's revival on PS Plus is the evolving community opinion. Many players who skipped it at launch are now giving it a chance, and those who tried it earlier are revisiting it to see how it has changed. One common sentiment among the community is that Forspoken feels much better as part of a subscription service. Without the pressure of a full-price purchase, the game's flaws, like its uneven story pacing and somewhat shallow open-world design, are easier to overlook. Players who've experienced the game post-launch have also noted significant improvements thanks to patches and updates. Performance issues that plagued early adopters have largely been resolved, making the gameplay smoother and more enjoyable. However, some criticisms remain consistent. The dialogue, especially between Frey and her sentient bracelet companion Cuff, still divides opinions. While some players find it humorous and relatable, others feel it's out of place and detracts from the game's tone. Forspoken's inclusion on PS Plus makes it stand out in the lineup for its unique magic system and open-world gameplay. Compared to other PS Plus offerings, it offers something fresh for fans of action RPGs, especially those looking for an experience centered around fast-paced combat rather than deep narrative storytelling. But it's important to consider how much you value open-world exploration. Athia is a beautiful setting, but the content within it can feel repetitive. Side quests often involve fetch missions or battling waves of enemies, which might not appeal to players seeking variety. As a PS Plus game, though, the expectations shift. Instead of wondering if it's worth $70, the question becomes, is it worth the download? For many players, the answer is yes, at least to experience its strengths firsthand. Forspoken will likely appeal to PS Plus subscribers who enjoy fast-paced action, experimenting with magic systems, and exploring visually stunning environments. It's a game that rewards players who focus on its strengths, combat and traversal, while tolerating its weaker elements, like the uneven story and repetitive tasks. If you're someone who prioritizes engaging narratives or innovative world building, Forspoken may not be the perfect fit. However, if you're curious about its unique gameplay mechanics, now is the ideal time to give it a try. Forspoken on PS Plus is a second chance for a game that initially struggled to find its audience. With its dynamic combat, stunning visuals, and improved performance, it's worth exploring, especially since you can do so at no extra cost if you're a subscriber. That said, Its flaws, such as inconsistent storytelling and repetitive world design, are still worth keeping in mind. If you're a fan of action RPGs or just looking for something different in your PS Plus library, Forspoken is definitely worth downloading. The real question is, will you find magic in its spells, or will its shortcomings hold you back? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in diving into another epic RPG, The Witcher 3 is a game you definitely don't want to miss. With its incredible story, immersive world, and unforgettable characters, it's still considered one of the best RPGs out there. If you want to see how it holds up today, or find out if it's worth playing in 2024, click the link right here and check out our detailed review. Don't miss out on the adventure.